So what is this primary treatment? First is what? Removal of the solid particles in the suspended sewage water by what? By filtration and sedimentation. The biogas contains what? Methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. What is flocks actually? How do you define the word called flocks? Flocks are nothing but bacteria associated with fungal filaments. Methanogens are nothing but methane producers. BOD is nothing but what? Biochemical oxygen demand. Hello everyone, welcome back to session 3 of this interesting chapter of your syllabus, chapter 10, called Microbes in Human Welfare. Hope you remember in the last session we studied about the use of microbes in household products, use of microbes in industrial production of industrial products, and also in the use of production of antibiotics. So in today's session, I'm going to discuss about the use of microbes in sewage treatment. What is sewage? I think all of us know sewage is nothing but a domestic waste which contains large amount of waste organic matter which needs to be treated before it is released into the habitat. So sewage is nothing but a domestic waste which needs to be treated properly. If not, it will cause what? Pollution. I think all of us know day by day the pollution is increasing day by day, may it be air pollution or water pollution or soil pollution. So treatment of sewage is very, very important, as every day large amount of sewage is produced by the human beings, right? Now let us see what is the process that is involved in the sewage treatment. As I said, before it is released into the habitat, the sewage need to be treated in sewage treatment plants. It is called sewage treatment plants, that is STP. Short form of sewage treatment plant is what? It is called STP, where the organic waste that is found in the sewage is degraded and it is degraded into such an extent that when even if it is released into the habitat, it will not cause pollution. Now let us see what are the steps involved in the process of sewage treatment and what is the role of microbes in the process of treating the sewage. So sewage treatment is done in two very important steps. One is called the primary treatment and the second one is called the secondary treatment. So what are the two very important steps in sewage treatment? As I said, before the sewage is released into the habitat, it needs to be treated in sewage treatment plants under two very important steps. One is called the primary treatment and the second one is called the secondary treatment. Now let us see, as I said, what is sewage then? Sewage refers to what? Sewage refers to municipal waste, then water generated in cities, and it is nothing but a waste which is generated in cities and towns that contain what? Usually it contains what? Human excreta and other domestic waste. We can say other domestic, even it might be a household like the domestic kitchen waste. All that together forms what? A sewage. And to make the sewage less polluting, it has to be treated, as I said, in order to make it less polluting before it is released into the habitat, the sewage water has to be treated in what I said, the sewage treatment plants. So treatment particularly, as I said, what is the role of microbes in the process of sewage treatment? And here the treatment is done by heterotrophic microbes which is naturally present in sewage. So whatever domestic waste, the municipal waste, the human excreta, all contains what? Heterotrophic microbes which break down the waste organic matter into simpler forms, thereby making it less polluted. So what is the role of microbes in sewage treatment? So what is sewage? Sewage is nothing but a domestic waste, or it might be a waste, organic waste that contains large amount of human excreta, or it might contain domestic waste, or the other waste material. And in order to make the sewage less polluting, it needs to be treated in sewage treatment plants. Short form it is called STP. And treatment is done by what? By heterotrophic microbes naturally present in sewage. And the process of sewage treatment is done in two very important steps. One is called the primary treatment and the second one is called the secondary treatment. Now let us understand one by one. What is primary treatment and what is secondary treatment? As I said, this particular concept, sewage treatment, is very important from examination point of view, and you are going to definitely get a question from this particular concept called sewage treatment. Please do learn this concept, as you know that it is definitely going to appear in your second PUC board examination. So whenever I say it is important, please dear students make note of it, as because these are the questions which are repeatedly asked in your board papers. Now let us understand the first very important treatment in sewage treatment plant which is going to take place, that is called the primary treatment. Here you can see the plant here, sewage treatment plant. See how it is set up, and it is not a very simple mechanism, because it is a very huge sewage is produced by the human beings. And imagine, and that too in big cities, like you imagine in metropolitan cities, thickly populated cities like Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi. Imagine where you come across more population, more will be the sewage production. So in that case, the treatment of sewage will definitely be a challenge. So the mechanism that is involved in the process of treating the sewage is very important. So here you can see how they have designed the sewage treatment plant. So this is a sewage treatment plant. Sewage treatment plant. And this is also a very important thing which comes under the Ministry of Environment also, because as we know, day by day our environment is getting polluted, and it is our bound duty to protect and conserve this beautiful environment. So treatment of this sewage is a very important concept to understand, to protect our environment from pollution. As I said, sewage, if it is not treated in sewage treatment plants and if it is let off to the natural habitat, definitely it is going to cause what? Pollution. Now let us see what is the first step in sewage treatment, that is called primary treatment. The very word itself will tell you the first treatment that is done to the sewage water. Now what is that? Physical removal of floating and suspended filtration and by filtration and sedimentation. So as it is a human, it might be domestic waste or human excreta. So all that, the physical removal of the floating and the suspended solid is first very important thing. How it is done? It is done by through very important steps called filtration and sedimentation. So what is the first step in primary treatment of sewage? First very important step is what? Physical removal. So all the suspended particles, solid particles are removed first by two very important methods. One is called filtration and sedimentation. Second, initially floating debris is removed by sequential filtration. As I said, part by part, the suspended particles are removed by sedimentation. Next, the filtrate is now all the particles are removed. So what is left out? The filtrate. So the filtrate is kept open in large settling tanks. It is not tank, it is tanks where sand, silt, pebbles, etc. are removed by sedimentation. So as you know, sewage, when it is running, there might be even the running water, rainwater, along with sand, pebbles, everything. So sewage means it's a mixture of everything, organic waste as well as the sand particles, even the pebbles, everything. So all that will get accumulated in the sewage. So along with the removal of the solid particles, suspended solid particles in the sewage, the filtrate is kept open in large settling tanks where sand, silt, pebbles, etc. are removed by sedimentation. So what is the first step in primary treatment? Physical removal of the suspended solid particles by filtration and sedimentation. Next, initially floating debris, as I said, it is removed by sedimentation or sequential filtration. Then the filtrate is kept open in the open tanks where sand, silt, pebbles, etc. are removed by sedimentation. Next, sometimes even alum or iron sulfate is added for flocculation and settling of solids. So sometimes chemicals like alum or even iron sulfate is added for flocculation, means for all the particles to settle down for sedimentation. So it is added sometimes. Next step is what? The sediment is called now what? It is called as primary sludge. So you can call it as a semi-solid liquid, and that is called as a sludge. Like when we mix cow dung with water, it is called as a sludge. So the sediment is now, whatever the sediment is left, that is called as what? Primary sludge. While the supernatant, what do you mean by supernatant? The liquid part that settles above. So when you do this filtration and sedimentation, I think in chemistry you might have come across. So the above part is called as supernatant, and the whatever is settled down is called as sediment. So the sediment is called primary sludge, while the supernatant is called effluent. You might have come across in sewage, even the industrial effluents, the waste water from the industries are also let off. I think all of us know that most of the water bodies are polluted, may it be a pond or a lake, where sometimes unknowingly or knowingly the factories, the companies which prepare certain chemicals will let off the waste water into the water bodies along with the sewage water. So that is the reason why most of the aquatic animals die. So very, very important is, see, we need to protect the water bodies like ponds and lakes and see that they are free of this sewage water. Many a times we have come across where the sewage water is let off into the water body, right? So that is really very bad. So we as I said, why this environment is getting polluted? It is because of human activities. Human activities, right? As we know, man knows that how important environment is. I think at this point of time, in the present scenario where we all are facing the coronavirus, we all of us know how important it is for us to maintain good health. And water bodies are very, very important means of this one for human beings. So if the water gets polluted, obviously even the environment gets polluted. So it's a bound duty to protect and conserve the water bodies and see that the people will not put the waste or the garbage or let the sewage water into the water bodies like the ponds and lakes. So next, what is the next step? The sediment is called the primary sludge, while the supernatant is called as what? Effluent. Now the primary sludge is subjected to composting and what do you call it as? Composting. It is composting or landfill, whereas the effluent is taken for secondary treatment. So you know what is landfill? They dig a big ditch where all the sediment is put so that it will not cause pollution to the soil. So deeper part of the soil. So that is called landfill, right? That is one way. So here the sediments are put into the what you call the landfill, or a compost, what we call it as. But what happens to the supernatant? The supernatant is taken for the secondary treatment. So the effluent, what we call it as, the effluent or the supernatant is taken for the secondary treatment. What are the first very important step? As I said, before letting off the sewage into the habitat, it needs to be treated in the sewage treatment plants, as it contains more of human organic matter like human excreta, even the domestic waste, etc. So before it is let off into the natural habitat and cause more pollution, it needs to be treated in the sewage treatment plants. So what are the two very important steps? One is called the primary treatment and the second one is called the secondary treatment. So what is this primary treatment? First is what? Removal of the solid particles in the suspended sewage water by what? By filtration and sedimentation. Next, the filtrate is kept open to the large tank where the pebbles, etc. will settle down as sediments. Then sometimes, even as I said, alum or even iron sulfate is added for flocculation and settling of solids. Then the sediment that is formed is called as what? Primary sludge. and whereas the supernatant is called as what? Effluent, which contains only the liquid part, we can say. So while the supernatant and the that is the sludge, particularly the supernatant and the primary sludge is subjected to landfill, whereas the effluent is taken for the secondary treatment. Now, what is this secondary treatment? Now, as I said, primary effluent is passed into large aeration tanks. So now the primary effluent that is formed after filtration and sedimentation is passed into large aeration tanks. The very word itself will tell you, aeration tank, where air is pumped into it and which is constantly agitated mechanically and air is pumped into it. This is called as aeration. So first, as I said, settlement of the solid particles by filtration and sedimentation. Then the sediments are called as the primary sludge, and the supernatant that settles is called as effluent, and the primary sludge is taken is put into the landfill, whereas the effluent is taken for the secondary treatment. So the effluent that is formed is called, the first effluent that is formed is called as the primary effluent. Before it is treated for the second treatment, it is called as the primary effluent, and it is passed into large aeration tanks where it is constantly agitated mechanically and air is pumped into it. This is called as what? Aeration. So very, very important. The primary effluent should be subjected to what? Aeration. Very important. And what is the necessity for aeration? Why the primary effluent should be subjected to aeration? So this allows what? This aeration will, because the microbes will grow more. As you know, the organic matter is a very good medium for the growth of microbes, and thus microbes are called as what? Phlox. This is a very, very important term which is usually asked in the exam. What are phlox? What is the use of phlox in the treatment of sewage? Right? This is a very important term. So what is it? Because of the aeration being done for the primary effluent, which will allow what? Which will allow the growth of microbes into phlox. What is phlox actually? How do you define the word called phlox? Phlox are nothing but bacteria associated with fungal filaments. Bacteria associated with fungal filaments. Bacteria associated with fungal filaments is called as what? It is called as phlox. Now, while growing, these microbes consume the major part of the organic matter present in the effluent. So what will happen? What will the phlox do? They will consume all the organic matter that is found in the primary effluent, thereby reducing what? Thereby reducing the pollution, and this significantly reduces BOD. What is BOD? More BOD, more pollution. Lesser BOD, lesser pollution. So that is called, BOD is nothing but called biochemical oxygen demand. This is also a term which is asked for 1 mark question. Expand, or what is BOD? Expand BOD. BOD is nothing but what? Biochemical oxygen demand. It is called biochemical oxygen demand. So I'll repeat. So here you can see in this sewage treatment plant there are different units where the primary treatment, the secondary treatment, everything is done. There are different units and many of people are working on this. Here you can see how the solid particles, everything is been filtered and sedimented. And definitely it will have a lot of bad stench or smell, and imagine people working in that particular unit called sewage treatment plant, right? So what is secondary treatment? The primary effluent that is formed through primary treatment is passed into large aeration tanks and undergoes what? Aeration. Undergoes what? Aeration. Next, what will this aeration do? This aeration will allow growth of microbes called what? Phlox. What are phlox? They are a combination of what? Bacteria associated with fungal filaments. So what will they do? These microbes, while growing, these microbes, they consume the major part of the organic matter and reduce the pollution of the sewage water, and thereby lessening the BOD. So here, more BOD. So this is like an indicator for us to assess the pollution, whether it is more polluted or less polluted. More BOD, more pollution. Then less BOD, less pollution. See, this is how the sewage water is, the sewage water's pollution is reduced by using the flocks. So this whole method is called as secondary treatment. This whole concept, as I said, is very important from examination point of view. Moving on to the remaining part of this secondary treatment. So when once BOD of sewage water gets reduced, the effluent is then passed into setting tanks where bacterial flocks are allowed to sediment. Here you see, and this sediment is called as what? Activated sludge. So now next, what is the next procedure? What is the next third step? So here you can see the steps here. Step 1, 2, 3 have gone through. What is step 3? So when once BOD of sewage water gets reduced, how does it get reduced? By the use of flocks, bacteria associated with fungal filaments, which will grow. While growing, what do they consume more of the organic matter and reduce the pollution. Then the effluent is then passed into what? Setting tanks where the bacterial flocks are allowed to sediment, and this is called as what? Activated sludge. Next, some amount of activated sludge is pumped back into large tanks called anaerobic sludge digesters. So next, some amount of activated sludge is pumped back into large tanks called anaerobic sludge digesters, and here other kinds of bacteria produce different gases like methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, etc. etc. These gases are inflammable and are used as biogas. See, even you can use the byproducts of the treatment, sewage treatment, like the methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, which are called as what? Biogases. So that is also one very important. So see how it is reused again. The sewage water is also digested, and the pollutants that are found in the sewage water is reduced, and not only that, the biogases that are produced can also be used economically. So the effluent from the secondary treatment plant is generally released into the, so now the effluent is free of microorganisms, it's free of all the particles. So now it free of all pollutants, we can use the word called now, and that effluent is now let off into the natural habitat. So obviously it is not going to cause any pollution to the natural habitat and released into the natural water bodies like rivers, streams, etc. Before treatment, before sewage treatment, the sewage should not be let off into the water bodies. Later on it can be let off, but many a times we see that the before it is treated, it is let off into the water body. Definitely it is going to pollute the water and thereby kill the aquatic organisms. Hope you have understood the remaining steps of this very important concept called secondary treatment. So once the BOD of sewage gets reduced, the effluent is then passed into setting tanks where bacterial flocks are allowed to sediment, and this is called as what? Activated sludge. Next, some amount of activated sludge is pumped back into large tanks. What do you call that tank as? Anaerobic sludge digesters. All these terms please remember. Then here other kinds of bacteria produce, as I said, different gases, like whatever is found there will help in production of what? Methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, etc. And these gases, as you know, they are inflammable and can be used as what? Biogas. Right. Next, the effluent from the secondary treatment plant is then let off to the natural habitat, that is released into the water bodies like rivers, streams, etc. So this is about the secondary treatment. Hope you have understood the sewage treatment methodology, which is done in two very important steps. One is called the primary treatment and the second one is called the secondary treatment. Moving on to the microbes in the production of biogas. Just now we have come across how even the other bacteria that is found will also release methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, which are highly inflammable and can be used as biogas. For example, the cow dung. Cow dung, it produces the methanobacterium that is found in the cow dung produces what? Methane. Methane is nothing but a biogas. Here you can see the biogas. Here you can see how the biogas reactor is. See here, the sludge is introduced here, the dung water. Then here you can see the digesters are added so that it will digest. And what is released here? Here you can see the methane, CH4 methane, carbon dioxide is released, and that is how the gas is. And this diagram is very important from examination point of view. Bioreactor. So this is very important from examination point of view. So usually they'll ask this for 2 marks. And what is biogas? So now let us see what is the role of biogas, role of microbes in the production of biogas. So biogas means what? As just now we came across in the previous slide, biogas is nothing but a mixture of what? Gases, inflammable gases like what? Like methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. So predominantly biogas is a mixture of gases produced by the microbial activity on the organic waste matter. The type of gas produced obviously depends upon the microbes. So you have come across the archaebacteria, right? Like methanobacterium. They are all what? They are the type of bacteria which is going to produce a gas like methane, and that they utilize. The bacteria which grow anaerobically on cellulosic material produce large amount of methane along with carbon dioxide and hydrogen. So these bacteria are collectively called as what? Methanogens, and one such common methanogen is what? Methanobacterium. So this methanobacterium particularly is found in what? Cow dung. And as I said, so the bacteria which grow anaerobically in the cellulosic material, cow dung, cow dung is a cellulosic material, more of cellulose, right? And it contains what? Methanobacterium. Methanobacterium, or we can also use as methanogens, right? Then which produce what? Methane. That is methane gas, which is used as what? Biogas. Which is used as what? Biogas. Hope you have understood. Even this concept is very important from examination point of view. They will ask this. What are the components of the biogas? So what? Obviously the biogas contains what? Methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. So what is biogas? Biogas is a mixture of gases predominantly containing methane. Very important is methane, produced by the microbial activity on the organic waste matter, and the type of gas depends upon the microbes and the organic substrates that they utilize. And the bacteria which grow anaerobically on cellulosic material produce what? Large amount of methane along with carbon dioxide and hydrogen. So these bacteria, as I said, they are collectively called as what? Methanogens. Methane producers. Methanogens are nothing but methane producers, and one such common methanogen is what? Methanobacterium. Hope you have understood even this concept, that is what is the role of microbes. So we have come across in this very interesting chapter. See, usually we have an idea that microbes are always disease causing. Yes, of course, like right now coronavirus is there, and we do believe that how dreadful this virus is. But at the same time, as I said, imagine the saprophytic bacteria was not there. I think we all would not have stayed in this environment, because the filth and the dirt and the smell that comes out of the decaying organic matter, definitely I think we could not have survived. But imagine the role played by the saprophytic bacteria in bringing about the process of decomposition and keeping the environment clean. So yes, of course, microbes, as you know, already you have studied in the previous session, the role of microbes in the production of household products, the role of microbes in the production of industrial products, the role of microbes as antibiotics. Now in this particular session you have studied that the role of microbes in sewage treatment and the role of microbes in the production of biogas. So as I said, this is here you can see the biogas plant consists of what? So consists of a concrete tank 10 to 15 feet deep, in which biowaste are collected and slurry of dung is fed. Here you can see the slurry of dung is fed. and a floating cover is placed over the slurry which keeps on rising. So now the gas that is produced due to microbial action collects in the dome part of the plant and supplied through outlet pipes to the nearby household. So like this, it is collected here, the digester, then it is collected. So there is a separate outlet for the collection of the sludge. So here you can see only the gas is produced and the remaining sludge is collected here. So there is a separate outlet for the collection of sludge which is used as a manure. See, here the biogas can also be used as well as the manure as a fertilizer. The sludge can be used as a fertilizer. So biogas thus produced is used for cooking and lighting purpose. And particularly you might have come across IARI. And this is a very important term which is asked in exam. Expand IARI KVIC. What is IARI? Indian Agricultural Research Institute and Khadi and Village Industries. And what is this KVIC? Khadi and Village Industries Commission. They are the ones which are developing the technology of biogas production in India. These two terms are very, very important. Usually they'll ask in exam. What is the role played by IARI and KVIC? Expand. IARI once again, Indian Agricultural Research Institute. I stands for Indian, A stands for agricultural, R stands for research, and I stands for institute. What is KVIC? Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Khadi Village Industries Commission. These are the two organizations which are using the technology for the production of biogas. Hope you have understood what is the role played by microbes in the production of biogas. So this was really a very interesting session, I suppose, and also very important concept to learn also. So imagine every day huge amount of sewage is produced, but nobody will have an idea how the sewage is treated. So we just produce the sewage and leave, but we don't know how it is treated. So it is our bound duty to understand how large amount of sewage that is produced in so thickly populated urban areas and even the rural areas, how is it treated. So the best is way to reduce the pollution in the sewage is through letting off the sewage into the sewage treatment plant and reducing the pollution of the sewage water and then letting it into the natural habitat like the natural water bodies like the ponds and the lakes. Till now we have understood what is the role of microbes in the production of household products, role of microbes in production of industrial products, production of antibiotics, and the use of microbes in sewage treatment. Now in the coming session, we'll learn about what is the role of microbes as biocontrol agents. Very, very important. Most of the crops are destroyed by the pests. So what is the role of microbes in preventing the pests and protecting the crops? Then microbes, as I said, there can also be used as what? The biofertilizer, like nitrogen fixing bacteria. Imagine how it is going to enrich the soil fertility. So I am going to discuss about these two very important concepts in the coming session. So till then, goodbye and thank you.